feel like I should have one of those headsets.
Hello, here we are. Let me get the computer all set up. I hope you liked that photo that you were looking at. That is our tribute to Miss Nadine. We are thinking of her today. She lives a little too close to the combat to feel comfortable. And, it really rattles. It really rattles your sense of security and safety when you see people displaced from their homes and children with no home. So hello today. It is Sunday, the 27th of February. We only have one more day of February, but it is very good to see all of you. I've got so much today to have fun with that we are going to be very, very busy. Now, let me get a couple things straight. I've got so much here, but we heard from our dear friend Nadine, and it broke our hearts to hear her fear of the fighting that's going on in Ukraine. And I just wanted to say I have 2 Ukrainian flags. One is going to go out on my front porch, and this one will stay here until this whole mess is straightened out. And we all know this. We were taught this in kindergarten, that you don't take other people's things. You don't decide that you know best what they need. But I just wanted to show, this moved me so much this morning that I printed this out. And this is from our Miss Jody, who is the dearest, dearest person. This artwork was made by Nadine, who lives in Germany, and she is a very dear member of our group, and we call her our little sunshine. And it's a beautiful piece of stamped and painted art. And Miss Jody, keeping her close to her thoughts, did this as part of her scroll diary. A lot of our ladies are doing hand embroidered scrolls and diary that they're being taught by Carol from The Magical Touch. And if you keep an eye on her every Saturday, she's been having YouTube lessons, and it's wonderful. I'm sorry that I sound a little quiet today. It's just hard, especially I was rushing to make the Ukrainian flags because I said, as a quilter, I have fabric. And so we made sure to look exactly what shade of blue and yellow the flag is. And I said, I'm making my flag. I'm going to hang it out there. I'm going to put a little one on my car. And we're going to stand firm with, let me rush in and get rid of this person. So, but anyway, I just, our hearts are heavy, and let's keep all of the people, because so many people, you don't have to live in the Ukraine to feel afraid and to feel sad. And so we are showing solidarity. There's no other way to say it, but we are a global world. We're not a series of countries. And if you hurt one person, the rest of us feel it. So anyway, let's get to some fun sewing, because we've got a lot to cover today. And I wanted to show you, I just got in an order today. And so I got 2 new books from my grandsons. And instead of sending these to them, I sent them to me. Well, I'm hoping to see them in a few weeks, but also I'm going to, on camera, read these books to my babies. And because I haven't seen them now in about 10 months. And so I need to make a trip, get down there. They're talking about coming up here, so we'll work this out. But I thought I'm going to read them some books on a video and post it. And that way, anytime they want to see Nana, their parents can put it up. So, did anyone's message get blocked? I don't think where on this site. I just blocked a spammer, but no, Marcia has a Ukrainian friend. So I'm going to say hi to Charlene Lawson and Marcia and Jody and Annette and Cheryl and Sonia and Patty. Hi, Patty. I saw your comment. I had to comment to your comment because I love seeing your name come up. And then let's see. Marcia, yep. And I'm hoping no one's comments got pulled up. But your comment and Nadine's where did it get blocked? Was it on this? Because if it is, I wonder, I don't know. I know if certain words will automatically get you blocked. I didn't put a filter on this because some of them, if you just mention scissors, it blocks it. So, but I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't want anyone to get blocked on here unless I block you. But what would you, if it was on here, Debbie, what were you trying to say? So let me know. And because I want everyone to have their voice as long as it's uplifting, positive, caring, all of that good stuff. So, but no, Nadine's not even here. So now I'm wondering where it got blocked. Also, Nadine was worried about talking about political things on our group's IO, but we don't have strict rules on there because I want our group's IO to be your home away from home. And unless your purpose is to upset people or anger people, I don't want you to ever be blocked. Yes, on this. Well, please say what you want to say, darling. I don't want you to get blocked. But Nadine, maybe you were going to comment about Nadine, but say it again. I think I blocked one and Marcia retracted one of her own just because she had misspelled it. And I blocked someone because they were a spammer. But otherwise, nope, I don't see anything that's been blocked. So just try it again. All right. In fact, I don't think we have a moderator here today. So anyway, okay. So I talked about my books for my grandsons. Cannot wait. And every chance I get, I'm going to hold this up because this made my heart happy. And thank you, Miss Jody. We are a very close community, and we do care about our members. So, but I've got so much to show you. So much. As you can see, I've been painting on my swirl mandala or Dahlia swirl. I keep calling it different names. I need to pick one name and keep it. And so anyway, but I'll be showing you that. I've gotten a little bit more progress made on my Alex Anderson. And I didn't work at all on my Valentine's pillow, but I'm hoping to get that done next week. And then I have a brand new spring quilt let me see, hold on one second. I have a brand new spring quilt that I'm going to share with you. It's easy peasy. It's another small one. And you know what? I'm kind of liking the small projects. They don't take up too much fabric. They're easy and fast. Hi, Miss Pat. What color fabric did you use for the water? I'm using all grays. And in fact, I'm not quite happy with it yet, but I think I'll get there. I just put a link to today's project. Let me pull it up here. And I was having problems with my printer, so Mark came home and rushed right into helping me. But today's project is a cute one. Here it is. And it's called Wildflowers. This is going to be, now, we're going to have all kinds of projects. We're probably going to have 2 spring projects, maybe just 1. And then Easter's not until April, the middle of April, so we're going to do a Easter project too. So I kind of like doing more smaller projects. So hopefully there's one you like. Yeah, Charlene, I'm right there with you. So if you want your own free copy of this pattern, then just hit my link there. It'll take you to it. Look for the download, and then you can do this along with me. So I got all kinds of things in this week that I can't wait to share with you. And hold on, I'm going to put this beautiful work of art back here so we can all see it. And I'm going to put it right here beside the flag so that if Miss Nadine sees this, she will know that we are thinking of her. All right, I think first, let me show you some of the good things I got in. And, okay. For Thursday, I showed a couple things. Let me bring my little cart over for the big stuff. All right, my daughter, I think I was saying this, and I think that my daughter dyed these. Oh my gosh, I can smell sheep. Yep. And, but my daughter had dyed a bunch of wool, and she gave it to me because I will add this to the artwork. So these are wool roving that she dyed herself, and boy, do I love it. And especially with the longer fiber, you can do so much. And so when I do use it, I will show you. All right. Then I have a retreat coming up. So I got a few things for that. When I was putting the order in with Amazon, I got a couple colors that I was short of acrylic paint because I am a painting fiend now. All right, so let me pull these out real quickly and show you. All right, so when I go on retreat, I like to take inexpensive things that if people want to buy it, that kind of keep me busy creating. So hold on. I just lost a piece of the glass and I don't, here it comes. All right, so I order my supplies from Amazon. And what I order are, whoops, don't have it plugged in. Come on. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this is a bag of these glass cabochon, and so I order these, and they're in a bag. Then I order these bezels, and I'll show you what I do. So I've got these silver bezels, okay? And that light may be a little bright. Yeah, I think it's a little bright. Okay. All right. Now let me show you what I do with these. I will take, let me find a good quilt one. I could even use this picture and put it right, but I take and I find good pictures of fabric, of quilt blocks, all of that. I even have like this. Oops, what did I do with my glass? Piece of glass. Oh, here it is. But you can take like this piece of fanned quilt fabric and put that in it. But let me just find one, settle on one, and show you what I do. Okay. So here, let's see. All right. I'm going to take and I'm going to put the image that I want on here and then press the edge down so then I can see it. Under this light, I can see it better. And then I'll cut it out. And see, I get these in bulk so that I can sell them for just a couple of dollars, maybe $3. And it's fun for me. It helps pay for my craft hobby. And it gives, especially quilters, it gives them a chance to buy a quilting image necklace. So then, now I have a special kind of glue that I glue it down, but hopefully you can see that. Then these are the necklaces that I buy in bulk as well. And luckily, all of this is so inexpensive that I can sell these for just a few dollars and still have a little profit. So, and it's just fun for me. This is part of what I love to do. So here we go. And then I will sit these out and people could buy them. And it's fun for people to buy them who are quilters and they see, I don't have any of it glued in. But I will make sure to glue it in, and there you go. For just a couple dollars, I have a little necklace. So I'm very excited about this. Let me get my box back. I don't want to lose any of these things. But this is what I do. I sit around and cut out pictures and fabric from shop magazines or catalogs, anything that I think would make a pretty necklace. And, you know, I love making paper beads. And so when, you know, I look at a catalog, a sewing catalog comes in, and I look at it as an opportunity to make some cute quilt-related necklaces that then I can sell. All right. And that way people can buy something that's inexpensive for a gift or just for themselves. Then I was watching Lisa Capin's, her latest hummingbird project, because I've been having a problem trying to find a good marking pencil or pen for my Alex Anderson hand embroidery. And she mentioned these. She was using these. And this is Clover. I got it on Amazon. Water-soluble pencil, which is important so you can get it off. And it's a pink, blue, and white one. So you can, and it says easily wiped off with water. So I'll try these with my Alex Anderson, and I'll let you know if that worked. All righty. Now, so I've shown you that new stuff. Then I will show you this. Oops. Where did some of it go? Uh-oh. Huh. I had some more fabric, but, oh, it fell right off. Hold on just a second. All right. I knew I put in a good size order with Jenny Beyer because she's retiring and she's closing her online shop. And so I had a good buy order for that. And then I spent enough money, I thought, that's okay for a while, right? Well, then Pineapple Fabrics, who I also love very much, had a beautiful fabric line come up called Persis, and it was on sale. It was closing out. And if you see this, you'll understand why my heart was drawn to it, because even though it's by Robert Kaufman, it looks a lot like Jenny Beyer. But isn't this beautiful? And right now, honestly, I'm drawn to metallics. I don't know why, but Charlene Lawson has a pen that comes off with heat. Oh, that's good to know. So it must be like a friction type pen. And wow. Oh, I'll save you one, Miss Marsha. I'll be happy to. And so here, I just love this metallic. That is so pretty. So I told Mark, I know I've spent money on fabric lately, and I know I said I'm going to be a lot more careful what fabric I buy because I want to use up so much of what I've got. But when I showed him the picture that hooked me on this, he said, I can see it. And so here is a small print. The large print that drew me to this fabric is now sold out. But I think they still have different prints of this. So all of this was $5.99, $6.99. Really good price. Look at this black marble. I think that it's going to be beautiful with this fabric. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So when it came in, well, they wrote me an email and said one of the fabrics was no longer available. And after I pouted, I said, okay, I need to find it. Luckily, Jordan Fabrics, that wonderful company out west, the husband and wife duo who are amazing, they still had it. It was kind of hard to find. I looked at a lot of different places, and I didn't get my sale price. It was like $10.99, but I had to have it, so that will be coming in very soon. And then I'll show you this again with the fabric that knocked my socks off. I love metallic. I love the Art Deco period right now. I'm crazy about it, and this fabric screams Art Deco. So when it comes in, I'll show you. Then while I was there, I'm always looking for landscape fabric. Look at this. Is that awesome? This is the kind of fabric that I buy to do my landscapes and then here is some here. And this would be great for cloudy sky. So these were on sale, super cheap. I grabbed those. So yes, this was more of a lust after it purchase, but now I'll be good, I promise. Okay, here is the special thing, because Miss Jenny Beyer is going out of business. Going out of business, and this is my last chance to stock up. And of course, it was all on sale. In fact, I told Mark, I said, don't pay attention that I spent $230, but pay attention that I saved $144 by the sale price. Now, is that manipulative thinking or what? But this is my last chance. And he understands. He looked through it and he said, I can see exactly why. Because soon as I read they were going out of business and everything was going to be marked down, he was like, okay, what can you do? What can you do? A girl's got to have what she's got to have. But, and it helps soothe my broken heart because Jenny's not going to be, she doesn't have a shop there anymore and doesn't have a mail. See, I'm good at this. I can do this. So I thought I would show you. Everything is a yard, only a couple things. I got 2 yards, but I needed more greens. When you do landscape fabrics, you need greens. And do you see why I love it for landscape? So, thank you, Debbie. It's just every once in a while you see a fabric that grabs you. And if you don't get it, you'll always regret it. That's what I tell myself. And I'm sticking with that story. And look at this purple. I am very weak on purples and yellows. So this, basically what I did with this was buy of what was on sale, buy what I knew I would like. Now I think this is 2 yards, but that is a wonderful neutral. And so I'm always looking for neutrals. And I hope, did I tell you the good news that Connecting Threads still has the mini comic boards, the boards that I love to wrap my fabric on. It keeps it so nice and handy. And so they still carry it, but they're out until mid-March, I think. And then I'm hoping they'll have a sale because the price has gone up. But anyway, I'm going to need more because Jenny went out of business. See, Mark, it's not that I wanted to spend money, but Jenny went out of business. So here is a really, really good fabric. And it's funny because most of what I buy with an eye towards landscape quilting, which is really where my heart is nowadays. But there was a beautiful border that I just needed to have. And then Sonia will know from the last, I think it was the very last block of the month that we did with Jenny. I loved this miniature border. I love it. Oh, yes, Miss Marcia, Fabric Lust. I mean, honestly, you go into a fabric store and they've got a brand new fabric line. You have images of laying it out on the floor and rolling all around on it. That's Fabric Lust, okay? And trust me, I have to touch, fondle. Oh, I just, I love it. It sets my heart to happy. So fabric is gorgeous, and I love the feel. Oh, look at this. Is that beautiful? This is going to be a landscape fabric. I got 2 of this. Hi, Edwinese. Hello. I got your pictures I'm going to show, Edwinese. And look at this one. Oh, my gosh. When I was doing the Savannah, that Savannah landscape, would that have been perfect somewhere? So these are my go-to. I can't tell you how many times I've used this fabric. And a good teal, just because I love teal so much. Okay, so that was the first bag. And as you can tell, I peeked at it, but I did not use it because I always like to be as close to just open the box with you as I can so that you can enjoy the opening with me. This is a beautiful, brilliant cardinal red, and I tend to buy different shades of red, but a good clear red is important. Look at this. Do you see this in some landscapes? Look at that. It does. Fabric does. It calls you. And if you get too close to it, it just kind of sticks to you. And next thing you know, you've got an armful of it. And it's like, how did this happen? I don't know, but I must buy it. So, and, we can't go to quilt shows or anything. So, what's a girl supposed to do? Pay the bills first, though. Okay, pay the bills first. And then pink. I am very bad about not buying pink. So here's a pink. Look at this. Now, you think, well, she's got an awful lot of greens. Aren't they the same? Oh, no. No, they're not the same. See? And what makes a good quilt is variety. Oh, look at this. Isn't that wonderful? Look at this. Marcia, you're so sweet. Marcia has kind of become our group's welcome wagon. Isn't that nice? What a sweetie. Oh, look at this. Now, that's a wonderful stormy sky. Whoa. I'm going to enjoy this. This is another neutral. I got 2 yards of this. And whoops, Miss Buyer tears her fabric. So you get perfectly straight lines and some wonderful threads that you can save to add to things. Now, this is an unusual fabric for Deb, if you've been watching me any period of time. But it was magical. I mean, how can that not make you happy? Look at that. I was so impressed. Then got 2 yards of black because we all know you gotta have black, lots and lots of black. Oh my gosh. Look, my favorite color is blue. And you know what? Blue's the one I have the most of. But every once in a while, I mean, a girl's got to do it. And more greens for my landscape. So this was a lot. 32 yards of fabric. So when you think about it, 32 yards of fabric for $231, 15 of which was for shipping. So 32 yards of fabric is not, I got a great deal. And I'd like to say I'll never have to buy any more fabric, but I don't believe in lying. So let me put this over here, guys, and move it back. Ooh, that is some heavy, heavy fabric. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And I always worry if by showing you what I buy is that I don't mean to tease or anything, but I also like to show you, because I would get excited for the stuff you buy too. And I like to show you why I buy what I buy. And sometimes it's just because I'm goofy and want it. Sometimes I have very good purposes in mind. But life is short and enjoy it. Pay the bills first, though. Okay. So now let me see. I've shown you this stuff. Let me bring this a little closer. All right. I'll show you real quick. I don't think I've done anything since Thursday night. I wanted to thank Charlene. She told me when I talked about this little row of stitching, it was white and peach, and it didn't show up. She said, take another color and outline it. And I did, and now it shows up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One problem I'm having is the yellow chalk pen that I was using has just rubbed all over everything. So I'm going to have to gently wash this out. But let me show you, and you can kind of see which things are new that I did. Then this one I was very excited about, but that yellow has infiltrated my white thread. See that? That's one of the reasons I said, I've got to get a better marking pen, something that's not going to do damage. So I'm not going to iron this. After this show, I'm going to go put some Blue Dawn dish detergent and swish it, rinse it really good, roll it in a towel. I'm not going to wring it because it's got the hand embroidery on it. Roll it in a towel, squeeze it that way, and then hang it up to dry or lay it to dry. But look how that yellow chalk has just gone. Look, it's even on that. So I will make sure I get that washed as soon as the show is over. Oops, hold on. I dropped a piece of, I've dropped this plastic on the floor. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm more careful now that I'm of an age not to let dangerous situations. I hate when you go to the doctor and they say, have you fallen? So I always make a point not to fall. All righty. So now I showed you that. Let me check my agenda. I showed you from Amazon, Pineapple, and Jenny Beyer, and my Alex Anderson progress. The next thing I get to share with you is, I think I'm driving Mark crazy because all I want to do is work on this. And good news today, I got my crock pot out and he went to the store this morning and they had a pork butt roast. Doesn't that sound nice? On sale for 97 cents a pound. And he was like, but honey, we've got 2 in the freezer already. I said, I know, but it's 97 cents a pound. And hamburger was on sale for $4.99 a pound. Well, I'm not going to pay that. So we didn't buy any. So it's kind of like buy what's on sale. See, this is part of my plan. If I save enough on groceries, I can spend it on fabric. But anyway, I already put that in the crock pot, and I took some oranges that were a little soft and cut them up and put in with the pork roast. And I put some grapes that were a little bit dehydrated, put them in there, and some different savory seasonings, because I do love that about pork. You put fruit and stuff in it. So that's going to be dinner. And then we'll take and freeze the rest because it's big. It filled up the crock pot. But anyway, okay. But see, I can say I've done dinner. And that way, as soon as we're done with here and I wash that, and then I'm going to go back to painting this. So here is, whoops, oh no, Jody's picture fell. I'm sorry, Jody. I'll pick it up as soon as I can reach it. I just love that picture. And I'm going to show you again a close-up of it. It's so sweet and tender and beautiful. And Jody's a very special person. All of y'all are. I don't know what I would do without you. Okay. So I told you that I was doing another paint project, okay? And so I took, and I have the free pattern. If you want this pattern, whoops, no, not all caps. OurTimeToQuilt at twc.com. I hope I spelled it right. I didn't have my glasses on. And but I have the free pattern, so I can send it to you, and then all you do is trace it onto a background piece of fabric that's well washed so that none of the sizings and stuff are in the fabric, so that the paint will stick. And there's Carol. Carol, are you still having your Saturday wonderful shows where you're teaching? In fact, while Carol's here, let me show what Jody did, because, oh my gosh, it's so sweet. And I will show you, my printer is getting a little low, so the original is so much prettier. But on her scroll, on her diary scroll, I guess you would call it, she did a copy of Miss Nadine's artwork. Is that so So sweet. And yes, Carol from the Magical Touch Studio is still doing, and understand, even if you can't make it on Saturday, they're on YouTube. And that's what I've been a little busy. So I'm planning on going back because I haven't started mine yet. And I'm going to. So, but isn't this beautiful? I thought you would love this. Mainly too, I'm hoping it'll make Nadine smile. And she's so worried about the fighting in Europe. It's a little close to her door. So I think that is going to just touch her heart. So thank you, Miss Jody. Let me put it back up. I don't want it to fall on the floor again. But, all right. Put it right up here with our Ukrainian solidarity flag. All right. So now I'm getting some progress done. Now, don't pay attention to this yellow. It's too much like mustard. I'm going to make, especially now that I have a better yellow, I'm going to redo the paint on this frond. And this one's okay because that's supposed to be the dark. So I'm doing like a dark red, and a pink, a light red or pink, dark orange, then a dark yellow, light yellow. So, and I'm going to end up right here with an indigo. I am kind of thinking, I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to paint in all of these swirls and then decide I might overpaint the center and do it in black and white. I haven't decided. I'll decide once all of the swirls are painted. But is this fun or what? Let me show you. I am loving painting this, and I'll give you a little sample of how I do it. So, and don't forget the Magical Touch on Saturdays, or just go look her up on YouTube. You don't have to wait till Saturday. And she is teaching you how to make a diary scroll. And oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's multimedia. You can do some painting. You can do applique. You can do embroidery, whatever. You can applique things onto it. All right. So remember these little cups I told you about? I got them, I think, from the dollar store. And these little cups are wonderful. But honestly, to do a whole swirl only took less than half of one of these cups. So make you all small scale. Exactly. But mix. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get this off. I hate having arthritis because it makes it hard to open these things. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to open this on top of here. Last night, got to tell you about this. Last night, something happened. I dropped something, whatever. Next thing I looked, this was open and tilted like this, right on my shirt. And Mark said, okay, Deb, you need to get an art apron. And I said, well, but I haven't spilt it any other time. He said, I've seen you spill before. I said, well, I meant on this project. So be careful. And I'm going to let me move in close to show you. I want to show you the size of brush I'm using. Isn't that tiny? And the reason I'm using such a tiny brush is because paint will kind of build up on either side. You need a much smaller brush than you think. Okay, and don't let me forget to show you this part of it. But now, in my hand, I hold my skewer, and then I hold my little cup of paint, and I'm working on, let me get this camera in, I'm working right here on these feathers. the darker. See, I painted the lighter first because I thought, well, I'll take and put light paint in here. And then after I put the light paint in there, then I can darken it for the next row over. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. So I am going to go back in though and lighten this one. And I'll just paint back over it. All right. So I carefully dip my paint in, and you just kind of, tap it against the side. Whoop, I do have to put my glasses on for this. And Mark gave me some of his stronger lens strength for it. But what you do is you kind of sneak up on the edges, because you can always come back and add more. But if you get too close to the edge and spill over, then you've got a mess you have to clean up. And if you accidentally, I try to come up to the thread but not cover the thread with paint. This is where I come in with a skewer. If you get some paint on the threads, take your wooden skewer or the end of your paintbrush, rub along the thread, and I rub it on my finger. It's non-toxic paint, and it dries quickly, or you can go like that. And, okay, and every once in a while, I'll take and knock the paint down off the walls so it doesn't dry out. Okay, we put that back down in there. If your paint gets a little thick, just take and add 2 or 3 drops of water. No more than that. Okay, so sometimes I'll come in and if I have excess paint on my brush, I will brush it in the middle there. And that way I can go back, grab some, and come back in here. But you see how I kind of massage the paint? I'm wanting this paint to really soak in so that it really becomes part of the fabric. I don't want it just sitting on the top. So I kind of massage it. Now this paint already has about 50% of the fabric medium, which I have some right here. Whatever kind of textile medium, fabric medium, fabric painting medium, that is what turns it from just an acrylic paint that won't stick good to something that becomes part of the fibers. And when it's dry, it's permanent, and you can heat set it just in case you need to wash it at some point. But I just kind of carefully go in here and kind of massage it in. And you can see where, oh my gosh, it is so much fun. It's so relaxing and restful. And then, in fact, by the end, I had done so much painting on this Friday evening and yesterday that my right hand, I strained a muscle in it, I guess by holding this cup and moving the fabric just so. But you see how you just kind of have to sneak up to that edge. Be very careful and sneak up to it and kind of massage that paint down right to the line. So now, even though this paint's paintbrush seems awfully small for this size space, you really don't want it bigger because you've got to get into the tiny crevice at the top here like that. So it's that easy. I will then, when I'm done with this darker paint, I may dump it all out and start fresh, making a lighter color, or maybe I'll dump out half and then lighten what's there. But this is so much fun. I highly recommend it. It's great to put on an audiobook. And do you know YouTube has audiobooks? And so you can put on a good audiobook or your binge watch a show or Netflix or something. And then you just sit and relax, and all the worries just leave you. You become so peaceful. So throw something in the crock pot, and that way nobody can complain you haven't cooked, and have fun. Now I got a little close to the threads right over here. So I take this wooden skewer and just rub it across like that so I can leave the threads showing. All right, so I think I've shown you, and you know that you take and mix. I used metallic paint, but it didn't have a yellow, so I mixed some regular yellow acrylic. And then, but I did put a little of the lightest gold in it so I could make sure to have the metallic glow to it. And then put in about 50% of the textile or fabric painting medium. Now, sometimes some of your drawing that I've tried to cover up might want to peek it out. So you might have to go back and kind of cover over. There were some threads that I decided, no, make it a little bit bigger. So you may have to go back and cover over, because when you put the fabric medium in it, it does make it a little thinner. And so it might take a couple of coats to cover up any marking lines that you don't want to show. All right. Be careful too what you do put on here, because let me put this in the water. Always put your lid back on right away. You don't want it to dry, and then it will be there. Do this off your painting, so in case you get clumsy and spill it. But I wanted to show you, what if you spill some of this color on the white fabric? And this is a little stain that I'm going to wash off, but here is that yellow paint. So I put some white acrylic in one of these little squeeze bottles, and I'm just going to go along, because acrylic paint will not come out of fabric once it's dry. I keep a wet rag handy, and if I accidentally splatter or spill, if I just did it, I will definitely try to wash it out the best I can. But once it dries like that, then I'm just going to put some thin little layers of the white and rub it in with a paintbrush or finger, and it will take the boo-boo away. And like right here, there was a marking pen line. Let me see if you can see that. Right here. There is part of the permanent pen. I decided not to use that part, so I just come in with some white paint, like right here. Some white paint, and just take away whatever stray marking I don't want to show. Because I was thinking, what do I do? And this will clean it up, and then it'll look good. Now, this is for me. This is nothing I'm going to enter in a quilt show. It's just because it makes me happy. So you can handle these issues any way you want. And handle these issues any way you want. But that's how I've been doing this one, and I'm really happy with the results. And I will make this yellow much lighter. But I wanted to show you, even though I painted it, I went, no, it didn't dry as light as I wanted. I'll redo it. Okay? So I'm enjoying it. It's fun. And you know what? Okay, I bought the paint and I bought the fabric. But now this is not costing me anything but my time, and it's giving me a lot of happiness. So now let me put this back real quick, and we will go look at your photos and then get ready for our first spring project. Let me try it again. Come on. Okay. All right. So now, but as someone asked me what color am I using for my water feature, and right now just some whites and grays. But I'm still working on it. So by Thursday, did you see that painting? I mean, that picture, Paul? By Thursday, I hope to have made more progress on the water. I'm not happy with it yet. It's still in that, stage, I hope you always remember that I told you that your landscape work will always go through an awkward stage. Just stick with it. It will get better. Hello. Oh, the welcome. Marcia. Marcia's, and I think she's enjoying her job as our welcome wagon lady. So here we go. I turned out the light so I can see your beautiful work. Right? And I had Kathy Boyd's pictures last week. I hadn't put them in her folder yet. So we've got those to see too. All right. Let's go to photos. Oh, thank you, Magic Touch, for grabbing that one. Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. So good to see you. Okay, let's go to your photos. All right, the first one, Alexis. She is really blossoming with her work. And I love that she's using interesting fabric backgrounds for her embroidery. So she's got this one started. Looks like she's done an outline stitch. And that gives her the edges of the work she's going to do. And look, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Look at this. This is her hoist. Now, I don't know all of the different characters. I just know what I like, and that is so cute. Look at this one. I love this, and I love her work with beads. She's really branched out. I see a lot of talent there. Way to go, Miss Alexis. I mean, she has come so far since we have known her, and it's amazing. And I think what she's done, I think this is like a pattern or something that she put on there. I would love to know exactly how that works. But isn't that so cute? It looks like one of the Transformers is kind of leaning back or something, and maybe this is part of a leg. That is so cute. All right. And I think that was the last one of her new one. So I cannot wait to see. I love that there is something for everyone in this quilting crafting world. So this is the most beautiful card that Miss B Hepworth, made for a friend of hers. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the ribbon work. I think we're going to have to look into ribbon work. I'll have to study on that because I really don't know that much about ribbon work. But isn't that beautiful? That somebody requested that we do ribbon work. And Miss B had her 80th birthday a couple years ago. Oh my gosh. I had no idea. She has got a very young heart. Miss Betty Middleton, look at this. It's so pretty. And I love the embellishment, the stitches, the painting, the applique, this beautiful floral applique down here. So wonderful job. Here is her Alex Anderson work in progress. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Miss Betty. And Miss Carol. And here, look, I go to her work to try to get ideas. It is really really beautiful. I now realize what this is. I was wondering how, I thought that was an applied, purchased like braid, but it's not. She did the running stitches. It looks like a running stitch and then went in and out, in and out, in and out with her thread. But it is so meticulous. It's so tightly done that it looked like a purchased braid. That's beautiful. But she's got some ones. If I can figure out how she did it, I'm going to do them. Just beautiful. But this is what I aspire to do one day when I get good enough at it. Isn't that beautiful? And then Miss Carol's been teaching how to, on a scroll, this is a scroll, and she shows how to bring this tree to life. And she does it first with the stitching, the different color threads, and then for the finale, she uses acrylic paint. Is that just amazing? So, and this is what on her scroll, it's the view outside her window, it says. So I love what Miss Carol does. All right, now we'll go to Charlene Lawson. She also is doing the Alex Anderson embroidery. Isn't that wonderful? Gosh, I love it. And you can do so many different things to it to make it all your own. Has somebody seen on the Quilt Show website, somebody had made what they call ghost circles, and it would be like something like this, and I thought that was fascinating. I hadn't seen that. Look at her beautiful quilt-along block that she's making. Now, I keep forgetting who is doing this one, but beautiful, beautiful work. Okay, thank you, Miss Charlene. Now, Charlene Visor. Charlene, whoops, it's not Pfizer. Oh, boy. Our Charlene with a P, it just flew out of my brain. Here is her lighthouse quilt. Just beautiful. And then I love the Howling at the Moon. Is that just awesome? And she said she used some Angelina fibers on her moon to give it that glow. I love it. And here she has done a mountain stream, or mountain lake, beautiful. And you see how you pick fabrics that have some maybe images, light, varied images of parts of nature, but it's what you do with it. It's what colors, what patterns you choose to go with it. There's that. Okay, let me go to this one. I love this church in the snow. So pretty. I love this stained glass quilt. I want to do more of those too. I love her attic window quilt with the cardinal. Beautiful. Look at this. Now this is a very simple landscape, but look how effective it is. Look how she did with the strips in the sunset, sunrise. I just love that. I love that. That's a piece of art. And here's her grandchild. She made her the costume for her Halloween. Isn't that precious? Okay. Thank you, Miss Charlene P. And for me, let me see. These quilts I saw on the Quilt Show newsletter. I think that's where I got this. And they're just so beautiful. So when I see pictures that I think are so amazing, I like to show them to you. And I'm seeing more and more people use metallic threads or rayon threads to make their work pop. I love it. So I like to share this whenever I can find good things to show you. And so the blue background is done by using blue heavy thread and doing all of the pebbling. And that way it looks like it's totally different fabric. Isn't that beautiful? So think about that next time. If you want it to look two-toned, just use a different color for your quilting and give it some pizzazz. And this, oh my gosh, I don't know where I found this, but this was just so darn cute. I just, couldn't resist it. Okay, and here's what I'm currently working on, which is the mandala swirl. I think I'm going to go with the name mandala swirl. And I wanted to show y'all, it doesn't quite look this way right now, but 2 weeks ago I started on my in-depth room cleaning. And I wanted to talk to you about that today. If I look at my room as a whole, it becomes overwhelming. So I just choose one area and work on that one area. Then the next time I'll choose one area, because it's the whole thing of how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time. And don't eat elephants, but you know what I mean. So this is the laptop. This is my camera. So this is this area of the desk. And I went behind, I cleaned good. And I actually threw some things away. I threw away some pin cushions that just really weren't my style anymore. And how many pin cushions do you really need? So, sometimes it's just a matter of, do I really need this? Then let's throw it away and make room for some things I really love. I love this. Mark made this mic on, made this sign for me. It's like, do you have your microphone on? So here's my sewing machine right here. So this is my cutting area. So I have a ironing area, sewing area in the middle, ironing area to the left, and to the right is my cutting area. And I cleaned out all of this stuff. I said, it's got to have a purpose to stay here. Then these are the 2 current projects I'm working on. But I just thought I would show you, this is the best way I have found to clean, which is just take one area at a time. And, this is my Elna that I'm going to sell. Once I get my other machine actually fixed, then I'm going to sell this one. But it's been a great workhorse for a number of years. Okay, this is my COVID test. And this means it's negative. I did not have COVID last week. But we got in our government sent the free COVID test, and we used it right away. So the C means that it was a valid test, that it really worked. The T means I don't have it. So then we're babysitting our Polly girl, and there she is watching TV with Grandpa. Is that just the cutest thing? I love it. And it's one of the reasons I love Mark so good. He is so good to all of our pets. This is my daughter Katie on the Eastern Shore. This is her new garage in progress. And I think they've done a wonderful job. This is a photo of a cardinal, because I'm going to put a cardinal on my snowy landscape quilt. And I think I've decided that I'm going to do hand embroidery for it. So I wanted to make sure that I get it as accurate as possible. Now, my other daughter is in Atlanta. She's going to a salsa dancing exposition and classes, a symposium, I guess you would call it. And she's staying at the Atlanta Marriott Marquis, which, oh my gosh, it has an interior stairs, and look at this elevator, and talk about Art Deco or Egyptian. Isn't that beautiful? So I wanted to show you that. Here's a picture of my daughter Becky looking up into that beautiful stairwell. So I hope she had a wonderful time. Okay, it's a pole barn garage. It's a method they use up on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And it should be a wonderful, wonderful space. So they still need to bring in and put a concrete floor in there. He has got one of the giant car lifts. He has worked on cars and trucks forever. And so when he's not at his job for the state, then he is doing this. And so he's so excited. He made it tall enough to put the lift in one of the bays. And here is their dog, Henry. Cute Henry. So, and this building here is going to be her barn. So I think she'll take over most of that space for all of her animals. Here's another view of it. And I love the colors she chose. I said, because, it's up. Here's a quick picture. I don't know if it's okay for me to show you, so I'm going to show you quickly. My grandson is learning to be potty trained. He's almost 3. I'm so tickled. His mama is reading him a book. And how cute. They're turning it into a fun event. I couldn't be more proud of their parenting. Okay, here is our Debbie Holt. We've got some great photos from her this week. All right. Here is her seascape with the lighthouse. And I love what she's doing with the sky. I love the swirling motions. I love the water. I can't wait to see more of this. I think it's going to be wonderful. Way to go. I think I have that exact gray fabric too. Cool. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, yes, I remember showing you this. This is her 2-color quilt. Beautiful. I love that toile, I guess they call it, fabric where it seams. Beautiful. Now look at this. Is this the cutest thing? She did a collage work in the center. It looks, wait a minute, it looks like a bunny, but it's got horns. How cute. Is that one of those jackalopes? And then I adore the big surrounding area to that. I guess you would call this what's it called when there's a center design? But I love the way she did. I said it's kind of Art Deco and stained glass look to do that work around it. Beautiful, beautiful. That is so cute. And then look at this one. Isn't this nice? This is curved. Let me show you closer up. So she's been working on curves, and I love it. Look at this double one. I know how to do a single one, but isn't that cool? So she's going to have to show us some of that. There's a close-up of it. Isn't that wonderful? Way to go. And then look at her painted quilt. That is beautiful. I love the pretty, bright, happy colors. I hope she had as much fun as I did, because I just had a blast and still am. In fact, I got to figure out what I'm going to paint after this one. Dolores, I know she's getting better. She's on crutches now. That's wonderful. Look at this. I love it. These are all the confetti pieces behind tulle. I love it. Here's an eagle she's working on. Can't wait to see the progress on him. Here, oh, look at this. I mean, it looks like you could pick up those garlic, shallots, and mushrooms. That is amazing. And her wonderful chameleon all finished. I love it. And the way she got the shine and the light by what fabric she chose and where she placed them. Beautiful, beautiful work, Miss Dolores. Okay, now let's see. Edwinese, she sent some pictures, And she has been back to working on this quilt. I love the flowers here. I love the scrolls. And look at these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful work on this. And I love how the roses have more definition. Very good. Another scroll. Isn't that pretty? Way to go, Miss Edwinese. Okay, now let's see who is next. Jeannie. I was so happy to see Jeannie's been hanging out again with us. We missed her, but we understand, you know, when you have a back injury, it really affects anything and everything you could do. I love this flowered fabric and the way she's doing stitching around it. It really makes it pop. Way to go, Miss Jeannie. And Miss Jody. And this is her Alex Anderson, the hand embroidery. And this is the beginning of this. Isn't that beautiful? I love how each one is unique to the person who made it. Okay. And then here is the picture I put on the board, because when I saw this, I just was so, so touched. Look, Miss Nadine, she used your art on her scroll. Miss Nadine is our sunshine inspiration. And Miss Jody can quilt anything. Isn't that beautiful? Such talent. That is going to be a wonderful addition to that scroll. Okay, one more shot of that. Now let's see. Miss Kathy Boyd. Here is what I forgot to show you last week. She did this great bag for her daughter. And this is the painting. She did this with her daughter, and even though they ended up making 2 different size blocks, I told her that is going to be a treasure and an heirloom because she did it with her daughter. Here's the inside of that bag that she made. Really fascinating. So zipper, and look at that. That is amazing. And then she did the Lisa Capon painted quilt along. Lisa got us all going down this road, let me tell you. So anyway, I love that she has now a project that she did with her daughter. Okay, Kim Hicks, we'll take another look. They did the New Year's Day Merry Mayhem Mystery Quilt. This is Miss Kim's and one of her friends, another friend, and this one, which is wonderful. So that was a fun pattern. And how much more fun is it to work with friends? Let me see. Miss Mary, I love her version of the quilted heart applique. And then look at what she's doing with her snowy landscape. This is 1/4 of a tree skirt. Isn't that beautiful? Way to go, Mary. Oh my gosh, I love it. She's got hand embroidery stitches. I mean, just everything. Beautiful. And her Christmas quilt. So, everybody is really being so creative. Oh no, Marcia, I forgot to put on Marcia's, she's been working with a Scottish plaid, and I forgot to put it on, hon. Here is Michelle's grandson and his dog on a quilt that she made about 10 years ago. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? If she were here, she'd say, well, Debbie, you quilted it, but I just want you to notice her beautiful quilt. And I love that puppy sleeping with the sun. Boy, life is good, isn't it? Okay. Now, Mitty, we have a new member. And Mitty, when she sent this, I just smiled. Is that just the happiest pillow top you've ever seen? Look at that. Isn't that so cute? Way to go, Mitty. That is just precious. I love it. I can't wait to see more from Miss Mitty. Okay. Now, let's see. Miss Nadine. Miss Nadine was very sad about this whole invasion and them trying to take the Ukraine and threatening serious force. And so she went upstairs and painted peace through unity. And yes, Mr. Dean, we are all going to rally around the Ukraine and everyone, because this cannot be allowed. So you are right. You're not alone, sweetheart. And that's a beautiful candle. What a great way to channel your fear into something that can give some comfort. So very good. I love that. Peace through unity. We are united. Okay. And Miss Polly, and she is really taken this whole movement. I just love Miss Carol, Miss Polly, Miss Jody, everybody who is going back to hand embroidery. I know personally, I hadn't done hand embroidery since the late 80s, and I'm enjoying it. And when you can mix it with fabric and turn it into a quilt, you've got the best of how many different worlds. So I love that Miss Polly has found this and is enjoying it. And honestly, that's what quilting and crafting can do for you, bringing you peace and comfort and joy. So how wonderful is that? Okay. I think that was our last one, but I'm hoping we gave you some inspiration, something that you might want to try, and use what's around you. You don't have to go out and buy anything special. Just use what you have handy. All right, let's see what you are doing. And don't forget, remember I told you, if you're looking for the Inktense products, the blocks or the pencils, keep Jerry's Artorama in mind. Jerry's Artorama in mind, because they seem to have the best prices on the Derwent Inktense pencils and art blocks. So, and you know what? Our hobby can be expensive, so it's nice to have, if I see a good price on something, I want to let you know. So, but Jerry's Artorama, it's online, like everything I do is nowadays. So, okay, any questions from that part? I love whatever. Oh, there's our Miss Mary. Polly loves Dr. Poe. The problem is she can't not bark. And she gets as excited about a horse, as a cow, as a dog. It's so cute. But we have such a big TV that she thinks it's fabulous. But anyway, I'm feeling great now. Thank you, Miss Melissa. And I don't have COVID, so we'll just see. And now we have our test kits that we got in the mail free from the government. Thank goodness. That just gives you an extra little, it's like if we start feeling odd, just take a test. So I do appreciate that. It'll be a Scottish. Okay, and I will make sure to remember to show you Miss Marsha's Scottish flag, because I love all the work you do. Well, now we're going to look at a new project. And, it's been a long, cold winter. And so, what happens when you have a long, cold winter? You get busy and look for a new project. Let me get this lamp out of the way. Now you know why I have to keep the desk area clean. This is going to be our spring project. This is by Studio R Quilts. And if you scroll up, there is a shortcut to their website. But I will hold this up to the camera so you can see. It's a free pattern. Thank you so much, Studio R Quilts. It's called Wildflowers. And it's absolutely free. Just go to their website and you can make it too. So, okay, here's going to be the layout. They give you an overview of the layout. And here are the actual patterns. Now, these were printed on both sides of the page, so I had to print out some new ones. Okay, so here's what we're going to start this project, and I thought I would just show you how I'm going to start this project. All right, I found this fabric, and I thought this might be, this might be a good fabric for a spring project. Now, what I like to do is, what I like to do is get a straight line going. So I do that by tearing my fabric. Then you will get a straight edge. Now, I'm not sure how big this is going to be. I think, well, I can kind of tell you this is 1 quadrant. So, yep, this should be wide enough. It might be a little too long, but that's okay. What I first do, in fact, let me grab my interfacing. Oh, you know what? I didn't get my interfacing in yet through my order. I've got a bolt of 48 yards of interfacing coming because this was my last bolt that I bought, and guess what? I've used it up. So what I do first, put that fusible interfacing over there, make sure my iron is on, and I'll come in here and, hold on. I get some of my good old canned spray starch, and I'm going to starch this side, turn it over, and starch this side. I just thought, let's go ahead and just work on this in the beginning and show you kind of what my process is. Okay, I'm going to move my paint supplies out of the way. We don't need them here. I'll clear my area. Then if I kept a cleaner area, I wouldn't drop things so much. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give this a really good start. That's how I start any project. Hi, Cass. Oh, you missed chatting with us. Well, good, sweetie. I tell you, I don't know what I would do without our chats, especially when things go wonky in the world and we can't do anything about it. We can come together and spend time doing something creative, and it soothes my soul. All right, so now I have starched this. Let me get out that center line. I have a feeling I only need this to be half of this size, but until I know for sure, there's nothing wrong. Now, I have some folding lines that have been in this fabric for a while, and I'm going to spray them with a little water and see if I can't get rid of them, because I do want this to lay flat. Make sure my interfacing's out of the way. Do not want to accidentally iron it to my ironing board. Okay. Oh, gosh. You know, I always try to tell you my silly stories. And you know what? I think, let me do something real quick. I don't want to have to do this whole page. So, if this is 4 quadrants, then I can go ahead. Let me make sure. There's a pot that goes with the plant. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off about right here and tear it. And then save this for another day. Okay. All right. So I think this is going to be a good side. Now I'm going to turn it right side down. Turn it right side down. Then come get my piece of fusible interfacing. Oh, I love the talent in this group. Let me tell you, y'all inspire me so much. All right, I'm going to now take and cut off the excess interfacing. And I'm going to leave it a little shy of the size of the fabric so I don't accidentally iron it to my ironing board. I wonder if I've done that before. Yes. So, all right, now bring this up and a little shy of the end of the fabric. Cut this off. I like putting the interfacing behind applique projects. And the reason I do is it gives a stiffening to the fabric so that when you do the applique stitching, it won't buckle up on you. So now what I have to do is find the nubby part. One side of this is smooth. The part that's nubby when you run your fingernails across has the glue on. So you lay this, the glue side down to the wrong side of the fabric. Okay? Now my iron, I know, is nice and right up to the right temperature. Then I can just iron this down nice and slowly. And you notice, don't scrub it, the iron. Just move it nice and slowly. And I work my way from the middle to the outside. That way, hopefully you won't get any pinches or pleats or, okay, so work from the middle to the edge. Middle to the edge. Okay. Nice and slow to let the glue have a chance to melt and stick to the fabric. Now, don't over iron it. If you over iron it, then all of the glue will move to the fabric and not have any left on the interfacing, and then the interfacing will act like it's just going to fall off. It won't hold on at all. Now, I turn it to the right side of the fabric and do the same thing, but just a little touch-up. You don't need to take as long. This is just making sure the glue is stuck and everything is smooth. Now, the next thing I will do is fold the fabric in half. Fold it in half vertically and then horizontally. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to come back in and put, especially in the middle, I want to put nice pleat markings. Whoops, don't melt my new mister. Okay, and now you can see. The reason I do this is because then you'll have an easy placement for your pattern. So this will fit right here because as long as this line lines up and this line, then you're ready to go. And what I'm going to do with this is, let me get my paper scissors. Take good care, Miss Mary. Take good care. Oh, thank you, Marcia and Mary. Who said to remind? Giving a thumb. That was Miss Mary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this pattern out so that I can tape it together. So here we go. I'm not cutting it out perfectly. And then this one I left a little extra beyond the red line. So this one I'm going to cut out on the red line. Okay? Right on the red line. The reason you do that is that's how you line up the pattern pieces so that when you go to tape them together, you know exactly where you are. Okay. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay. All righty. Now let me grab my tape. I think I just threw the wrong part in the trash can. Okay. Let me get that back out here. All right, here we go. And what you do is you look for the lines. You look for the lines and line them up. Just like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is put a piece of tape down near the bottom of this. I don't tape on the front because what if I want to try out some color combinations? So I put a piece of temporary tape here, turn this over, and I tape the back. And that way I can write on the front part, I can color, try different color schemes out on the front part. I'm going to cut off this excess here so that I can line it up better. All right, so I've got this. This will be the bottom half. The line, see how my line is here and here? I was wondering if other people noticed her name looks like Cash Flow, but it's not. It's really Kaz. So, okay, now I need to get my other patterns for the top. Okay, so you see why you don't want to do print on both sides. So, okay, this one I'm going to leave the side line, but I don't need the bottom line. Okay. Hold on just 1 second. It got warm in here awfully fast. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me turn off my heater. Whew. I'm in the basement. It's a walkout basement, but it does get chilly when I haven't been in here in a couple of days. But then the problem happens when I turn on the heater, then it gets too warm. All right, so I'm going to leave an extra space on this side of the line. So, and I love how this pattern shows you what quadrant you're working on. That's pretty cool. All right. So this is going to go here, and this one, I need extra on the bottom of this. Come on. But I don't need any extra on this, so I'll cut this right on the line. All right. One of them has to be cut back to the line so that you can line them up perfectly. All right. Okay, we'll get the trash out of the way. And here we go. This one's going to go underneath there. Okay, line line all these little lines up. Line the red lines up. And remember, when you print these out, print them out to actual size. You might have to check your printer settings. But if you don't do it to actual size, then who knows what it, if it says print to page, it will mess up your pattern. So print it again with it print to size, not print to page. I'm just putting these little pieces of tape to hold this together until I turn it over. Oops. Okay, and then when I turn it over, I'll tape it again. So, again, remember, the only reason I do it this way is so that I can color or make notes on the front. All right. Okay, now it's laying flat. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. So now here is our pattern. And I get my handy dandy cheapo light box. I'm going to put on my Santa list for Christmas that I want one of those newfangled ones. But it might be a little while before I get that. But this one works just fine. Better than what I used to use, which was tape it all up on a window and do it. So this goes down first. Just kind of tuck it right here. Then your fabric goes down next. And you know, the nice thing in the light box is you can see if it lines up with your pressed marks, because see how you can see that? Line it up with your lines on the pattern. And once you get it lined just right, even if you have to pull it back, double check, get it right, then take and pin the fabric to the paper, because as you're drawing, you will scrunch it and scrooge it around a little. So if you have it printed, it can't go very far. I know what. Bye-bye, Miss Carol. Take good care. Oh, is Carol leaving, or did somebody just... If I ever... Oh, she does have to go. Bye-bye, Miss Carol. So good seeing you, hon. Yeah, I try to do the important stuff first so that if you're in a rush or have things to do, you don't feel like you have to stay for this part. But okay, I'm going to use this blue pencil. So I'm going to see how this works. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take, oh, look at this. This looks good. I'm going to draw this here, and this is piece M. Now I'm going to make my pot bigger. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Because I've got a cute idea for it. Because you know me, I'll take any pattern and see, I like to make the pattern my own. And draw the little letter wherever they show it, and it'll just make it easier for you to match up the pattern pieces. You can always put your own spin on all the pieces. So you're just going to go around, and like I said, if you don't have a light box, what is this? No, B5, okay. If you don't have a light box, just tape your pattern to the window, and then tape your fabric over the pattern, and during daylight hours, you can put B4, but you just go around and draw all of your shapes, okay? Now, once I've drawn all my shapes, I've got it here so I know where to place everything. Then I'm going to take the pattern pieces. And the reason I chose this is because right now I'm enjoying making patterns that aren't that tough. Okay, let me turn off this light or you won't be able to see it, right? What I'm going to do next is here is some fusible web. So I will lay this out here, fusible web, and then I will put the pattern pieces under it, and then I will draw on to the fusible web. Now, there's one thing to remember. This is not the two-sided steam-a-seam. This is only one side. So I need to turn this over. Oops. This is why I didn't want printing on the back. Because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to trace from the opposite side of the pattern. Because if not, then when you go to create this design, it'll be backwards. Okay? So you will draw the design as if it were backwards. Now, the one thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is I have pulled out, I want this to be very, very happy. Let me bring this up now. I want this to be a very happy spring thing. And I'm going to be auditioning fabrics because I want them to be light and bright. So, let me put my fabrics right here. This is going to be my pot fabric. So, the little planter pot for the flowers. I brought down my scraps from the quilts I've made recently, and I'm going to do some trapunto, which means I'm going to cut my pot. Let me get a scrap of this. And, of course, I looked at this and said, this is Jenny Beyer. Of course it is. I put Jenny Beyer fabric. It ends up in everything I do because it's just my favorite go-to fabric. I will miss it very, very much. All right. So here is, this is going to be the pot. Now, I'm not going to cut it out more than this because I think I might do a little cute saucer on it and then the pot. So I've got to draw that shape. Okay. Then pretend this is already cut out the exact shape it's going to be. Before I put this down, instead of doing a whole piece of fusible, I'm only going to do fusible around the outside edges of this design. Then I will cut this interfacing to be just a little smaller than the design so that once I have the fusible here, it's not on top of this. And then that way, when I lay this down and I iron the edges, it will fuse down and it's going to make a puffy, partly rounded pot. Now, let's say I want it to be really nice and round, really stand out. Then what I would do is this is the first pot. Then I would cut a piece narrower. And then let me cut this off. Then I would come in and cut a piece narrower than that. Like this. And I may even come in with an even narrower piece. Do you see how it's kind of coming in and in and in? Okay. Oh, did you go a little crazy with your purchase? So did I, sweetheart. So did I, because it's like the last. Okay. Then when you come to put this down, do you see? Let me show you. Look what the shape it does by going gradually smaller and smaller. Do you see the rounded shape? So this is trapunto with the vase. And I'm not going to do everything on it. I may do a flower, or I may do a leaf, or I may just do the pot. But that then is going to be the fun part. You see? That's going to be the fun part. So that's how I do the trapunto, and it's just stepping in with the sizes of your batting. And that way, when you put the fabric, and remember, I'm going to probably use the schema seam that's a 1/2 inch. So that fusible is just a 1/2 inch, and it's going to go around the shape of the pot. Then when I press the edges, now I won't press all of this because I don't want to compact it any more than I have to. So I'll keep the iron on the edges, and that way when I put this down, I'm going to have a pot shape. Isn't that going to be cute? Then you can have all the flowers. And if you want to, you might want to make some of the flowers, and I'm just going to let me show you the fabric I'm thinking about. I just went over and got little scraps of fabrics that were in bright colors, and I got some pink, and I got some purple and pink, and some purple, and some stripe. That will make a cute flower. Then I got some of the effervescence. I got for leaves, I got these two. I got some more colorful fabric there, some more colorful fabric here, there, and an orange. Because I want to keep this light and bright and spring-like. So that's what I'm planning. And then next week, I'll have a couple things done. I'll have this pot in place and start work with the flowers. So I spent $230, Cass. Did you spend more than me? So that's the project for now. So, but I was telling Mark, but look how much I saved. I don't think it works that way, but hey, whatever. Let's just say I won't be buying fabric for a while. I've got to go back on my fabric diet there. So, any other? Oh, thank you. I wanted to be really light and happy, and just fun, because that's how I feel about this spring. I feel like we need some fun and bright, and it's been a cold, dark winter, so I'm ready. And Easter's not even until April 17th, I think. That's a long time away. So we'll finish this project next week, then see how things are looking, if we have time to do another spring project, or do we go straight to Easter. And I've been planning, I think I've got to have a little bunny in my Easter project. So I think that will be cute. So, I have some Minky somewhere. Wouldn't it be cute to have a Minky bunny? So, maybe I could make something for my grandsons and put one of the squeakers, because I keep dog toy squeakers. Maybe the bunny will have a squeaker. All right. Anybody else? Take good care, Debbie. It was so good to see you, and I'm going to say goodbye for now myself. I am going to go up and work some more on my painted project. I am loving painting that puppy. So, can't wait to show you the next time. Any questions you have? Anything you want to know? And our unity with the Ukraine flag. Take good care of yourself. Find something to do that makes your heart sing. Okay? Bye-bye. See you next week. March 1st, almost here. Bye-bye, guys. Take good care.